If you would like to get your song reviewed, dear listener, there's the filthy capitalist option. As Sori says, $125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be a part of the alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. $125 gets you there. You do that 3 times and then get mashed down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes!
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at vinsori@gmail.com and I'll show you the details about how to pull that off.
You can also jump on Patreon and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Yep. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee a positive review. Get what you get.
It's just rubbish.
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 That's British for garbage.
My favorite is the community option. $1 at the gate gets you in a Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord.
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
And they do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go in the village, facebook.com/Vin and Sori. There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing.
And it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. Sori and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 tier and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener.
Buy our merch.
Buy our merch indeed. A child shall lead them.
To buy our merch.
Yes, dear listener. Yes, dear listener.
Oh,
yes,
my
dear
word.
listener.
If you guys could see the lineup tonight.
There are so many benefits, dear listener, to Patreon. One of which is this sexy beast right here. He goes by the name of Justin. And Justin, as you can see on his cool little bike here,
he's wearing our Till We Die shirt.
He's rocking a Vin and Sori Till We Die shirt.
So if you're on the $20 tier or the $25 tier and you stay on it for 2 months, then you get sent a shirt.
Yes, sir, Bobbert.
He said he was pretty disappointed because he wanted the Sori Secret shirt.
Yeah.
And I said, well, you know, to be honest with you, between the Till We Die shirt and he goes, but this shirt is so badass, you know?
It really is.
Yeah,
it really,
I told him,
really
I said,
is.
well, between the two of them, the Sori Secret shirt is actually less expensive than that one. So it's probably better for you that we gave you the free one as your as this one.
All right, guys, here we go. This is Nick's moment. DJ Nick bringing us the goodness. The first song we're going to be reviewing is by a band called POD.
The name of the song is Youth of the Nation.
All right. Bass drums coming in hard. All right, let's do it.
Last day of the rest of my life, I wish I would've known, cause I didn't kiss my mama goodbye. I didn't tell her that I loved her, how much I cared. I thank my pops for all the talks and all the wisdom he shared. Unaware, I just did what I always do. Every day the same routine before I skate off to school. But who knew that this day wasn't like the rest? Instead of taking the test, I took 2 to the chest. Call me blind, but I didn't see it coming. Everybody was running, but I couldn't hear nothing except gun blast. It happened so fast, I didn't really know this kid, though I survived him in class. Maybe this kid was reaching out for love, or maybe for a moment he forgot who he was, or maybe this kid just wanted to be hugged. Whatever it was, I know it's because we are the youth of the nation. We are youth of the nation. We are the youth of the nation. We are youth of the nation. Little Susie, she was only 12. She was given the world with every chance to excel. Hang with the boys and hear the stories they tell. She might act kind of proud but no respect for herself. She finds love in all the wrong places. The same situations, just different faces. Changed up her pace since her daddy left her. Too bad he never told her she deserved much better. Johnny boy always played the fool. He broke all the rules so you would think he was cool. He was never really one of the guys. No matter how hard he tried, up the thought of suicide. It's kind of hard when you ain't got no friends. He put his life to an end, they might remember him then. You cross the line and there's no turning back. Told the world how he felt with the sound of a gat.
Ain't that some shit? Yeah, they are.
So, I have heard this one before. Lots of times, actually. So when
Really? Where?
What youth group?
They let you guys play this?
Yeah, we used to listen to
Your
it.
upbringing is so weird.
Yeah.
Wait, this was the church that allowed this, not your parents?
Well, right. My parents, when we were with the youth group, we just kind of did what they did.
Oh, okay, I got
So
you.
it was kind of like allowed, but it wasn't like I had the CD in my room.
Gotcha.
So yeah, we would take these. Oh my word. I felt so cool when we were on these trips. So we were from Lewiston, which if you, again, this is where we are stationed now. And like Lewiston people are basically looked at as like the trash of the state. And so I was always viewed as like, oh, there are those hoity-toity Christians. But because I was in the Lewiston youth group, I was viewed like an entirely different way, and I liked that.
Oh,
like,
you were like ghetto?
They were like, oh, here comes the ghetto badasses, basically. You know what I mean?
Oh,
and so
see.
I liked that energy. Plus, well, so it made me feel cool, like I was rolling with some cool people. But on top of that, like, I remember like when I was like 15, 16, I started youth group at 12. So from 12 to like probably 16 years old, I really felt like, man, like we are it. You know what I mean? Like we're youth. We can do anything. We can overcome anything. Like we're like the changers of this world. And when I heard this song, of course, like I didn't have, it would just play in the van when we were driving. And I'm not sure if anybody, like some of the people must have known what the lyrics were. I didn't know what the lyrics were. And it went so fast before you're on to another song. The only thing I did know is the chorus, "We are the youth of the nation."
Right.
So to me, this whole song, the feeling that I felt like I had as like, we're game changers. You know, like our parents, they did their thing, whatever. You know, but us, we're gonna do some shit, man. Like, obviously, no cursing. I wasn't thinking that.
What did you think you were gonna do? What did you think you were gonna accomplish?
Whatever. Well, I just like, so I guess I kind of kept like that like little girl view of like faith, I guess. So like I remember, and I've said this before, but there was this little song that somebody taught me when I was, I don't know, 5 or 6 or something, who knows. And it was basically like, if I tell 2 people and you tell 2 people, then 4 more people will know. And the thing just keeps like growing until like until basically the entire world knows about God. Because I thought, this makes me sad to think, so I thought that the only reason people didn't believe in God is only because they never heard of him. I didn't realize that, you know, the church hurts people, and that families hurt people, and sin that people do hurts other people, and
that people suppress the truth and unrighteousness.
People, yes, that too, yes, like all that. So I didn't like really realize that. I just thought like, well, people are going on their way, and as soon as they hear this good news, you know, and there was like this corny little thing that they taught us. They were like, okay, so go sit beside somebody. This was so corny, and it felt so awkward. I only did it once. They said, go sit beside somebody and be like, oh my gosh, did you hear the amazing news? And then the people are like, well, what? What happened? And then you start telling them the gospel. Well, Jesus died. And like, I only did it once because it felt a little bit corny. And then when I like did it, the person was like genuinely like, whoa, what information am I gonna hear? And like, they were like up here, and I saw them like keep going as I was once they realized what was going on.
Start spreading the news.
So yeah, so like this song, like, you know, this whole thing, I don't know, I like this song because it brings like a lot of good memories and feeling, and maybe this is why, like, you know how you guys will be like, oh, all about a song because it connects to something, like a part of your life. Yeah. And this did too. Like, I think of the people that I was around and what we were trying to accomplish and stuff like that, and just like a lot of hope.
This is one of the first songs I learned to play on guitar.
Really?
When I got out of the hospital.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
I feel like a lot of guys were doing this POD ones.
Oh, well, it's so easy.
Is it?
So easy.
Oh,
so
okay.
easy to play.
All right.
It's so easy, but I'm like, hey, this is the official song, bitch. Like, okay, I'm on my shit now. But yeah, when I got out of the hospital, this was a big like it would come on the radio, and I pretty much learned that one by ear, which was pretty interesting because I didn't have my
Wait,
amp
this
for half of it.
specific song?
Yeah.
Oh.
But I mean, obviously, with current events considered, it was a pretty depressing. I was very curious as to like your response about it, but then now I hear all this nostalgia because I'm like,
why am I not emotional about it?
because the first verse is about a kid who's just going about his day, regular school day, and then he dies in a school shooting.
Yeah, I literally had, even when it started, I didn't know. I just was like, yo, I know this song. And then I did notice the lyrics as it was going, because I was like, I never actually really, we'd go to the Rollerdrome all together. One more story. We'd go to the Rollerdrome, which was something I was completely banned from doing forever and for always. But when the youth group did it, then we could do it. So I went a handful of times, and they'd play songs like this, so we'd be like skating around. We are the youth of the nation.
That youth group loophole, I would have used to very great effect for my purposes if I was a kid back in the day.
Well, I mean, you couldn't overdo it. My parents were...
Well, I mean, you told me some pretty crazy stories.
Well, yes, that's true.
About
that is
the
true.
bus trips with youth group.
There is that. There is that.
But yeah, it's just.
Yeah, you. Oh my gosh, you would have.
It's being in America. You know it. We have norms that are not normal. Like this whole thing where people go in a school and kill everybody.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
That shit is not normal.
Yeah.
And it does not happen anywhere but America to the frequency that it happens. Mm-hmm. And it's so hard because the more and more I look at these situations, you know, people talk about, you know, immediately they talk about gun laws and things like that, you know, get the guns up. And I'm like, I say this all the time. If I believed that dissolving the Second Amendment would end active shooters, not even end, significantly decrease them, I would be all for it.
Right, yeah.
The problem is,
yeah,
the reason I'm cynical about those laws is because I was in a state that had very heavy gun laws in New York City, and we all had guns. We all had access to guns.
Right, yeah.
Chicago has a crazy gun statute, and we know the story there. They're in the top 3 with gun deaths every year since 2012, I think. Mm-hmm. So...
Yeah, but I really think your answer is the solution.
I don't believe that that's the issue. What I do believe, you know, and Jenks said this, he said, well, other countries have mental health issues too. Yeah, other countries have mental health issues, but all these developed countries have Medicare for all. Mm-hmm. They all have some sort of state-sponsored whatever, so when you're crazy, you have an outlet and you can get some meds.
Yeah. Exactly.
If you have a poor family, or even not even a necessarily poor family, but a family on the brink, they're going to make business decisions. And a lot of times, like, mental health is treated like a commodity. Like, yeah, I mean, if you get a therapist or whatever. But the lines to getting a therapist are crazy, especially after COVID. I am not saying that there doesn't need to be some sort of weapons restriction because, like, for example, I don't think you should be able to buy an RPG. Mm-hmm. I don't believe Elon Musk should be able to buy an F-15, obviously.
Yeah.
But, so, obviously, there are some common sense restrictions that I think would be helpful, but a gun ban is not going to stop the problem. I mean, these people are clearly mentally off. Like, the Buffalo shooter... He showed up for an entire year, I think, dressed in a hazmat suit. He explicitly said he wanted to commit murder-suicide. He, the whole 9 yards. Like, the guy was clearly off. And same thing with this other kid. Massive warning signs. Like, so it's like, if we get these people some mental help, it might, we should at least try it.
Yeah.
But what happens with these shootings is that both sides get all in their feelings and everybody mans their post and nobody's looking for real solutions. So, like, for example, I just shot a Middle America episode and we were talking about the cowardice of the police. Well, sure, the cops were cowards, but my thing was they were also basic human beings who the most basic instinct is survival and reproduction. And I'm sorry, at the end of the day, call it what you want. They didn't want to die that day, and some of them were going to die. They understood that because they were outgunned. That's just a fact. And so my thing was, we should probably do something like an 18 X-ray program like we did in the military after 9/11. There was a heavy primer on special forces, and usually it took years to get in special forces for obvious reasons. And it was clear that the opponent we were facing were specializing in asymmetrical warfare, right? Al-Qaeda, all those people. And so the regular big army is not going to solve that problem. You need guys that can specialize in asymmetrical warfare.
Right.
That's our special forces group. So what we did is we came up with an 18 X-ray program that would get you straight into special forces right off the street, and a contract if you could make selection. And that expand. My point is, that's the solution. Have some sort of SWAT team 18 X-ray program where you can go straight from the street into a tactical position, so that you have more tactical guys ready to respond to the situation instead of regular beat cops. Regular beat cops did not sign up to lay down their lives at school. They didn't. Okay? These are the same people that will shoot a guy like me because they're terrified, and that excuse gets them not even indicted in a grand jury. So you think a person that's going to do that is going to run into gunfire? No, they're not. But people are so busy like trying to blame these cops instead of coming up with a solution. Like, that's my problem, is that we always get caught up in these emotional, and we should. Like, your emotions are important, and they alert you to the fact that no matter how normal people try to make this, it's not normal. So your emotions are important. But the problem is, your emotions have to guide you to an actual workable solution, so that if this happens tomorrow, we have an answer. And right now, the right-wing people are saying, keep my guns. The left-wing people are saying, get rid of the guns. And everybody's manning their posts, blaming the other side. I saw some Republican guy, he blamed CRT, critical race theory, for this. Like, everybody's blaming each other and throwing shit at each other and all the rest of it, so that we never have a solution. So songs like this will now have to be written by this guy's son, because it keeps fucking continuing. So it would be great. It would be great if we could actually come up with some real solutions. And I'm sorry, real solutions. You're not going to get, you got a country that's got 400 million guns and 320 million people. So a gun ban is not going to solve the problem. And like I said, I'd take a magic eraser and get rid of the Second Amendment tomorrow if I thought that was going to. I'm not married to any of these amendments. The only thing that I'm married to is the Bible. That's the only inspired document in the world. So I would get rid of the Second Amendment tomorrow if that would solve the problem. But I came from an environment where we had crazy gun laws and we had guns. And the bad guys had guns too. And some people say, well, Vin, you were somebody's bad guy. I wasn't a bad guy though. But I get what you're saying. But you know what I'm saying. So that's the thing that pisses me off about this song. Listening to it, it's like, we have progressed nowhere in the conversation since this song was written. This song came out in 2001.
Yeah.
We haven't progressed. We have no societal level, national solution to this problem that we weren't kicking around in 2001. That's my problem with hearing shit like this. That's what gets me. And, you know, people say we shouldn't politicize these shootings. Like, I'm not sure I believe that. These shootings are, in my opinion, a result of bad politics. So I think what people mean is, stop using this as a cheap way to score points for your team. But we have to politicize these shootings because they're inherently political.
Yeah.
Okay? So, but what I don't like is just the we're looking at each other as enemies. You know, what Jen was saying, the Republicans don't care about kids getting killed. Ridiculous. I am sure they care about kids getting killed. And I don't believe Republicans love their guns more than their kids. I think that's ridiculous. Conversely, I don't believe that everybody on the left is out there trying to get your guns so that you'll be a slave of the state, so that the government can control your life. That's a ridiculous mischaracterization of people on the left, or people that are tired of turning on their TV and seeing another beautiful fucking 6-year-old get blasted into eternity. Maybe that's why your left-wing friends is saying we should get rid of these guns. Whether or not you believe it's going to be effective, why do we have to jump to the craziest, most uncharitable assumption as to why they're doing that? No, I don't believe that right-wing people love guns more than people. I think right-wing people have a, whether or not you believe it's legitimate, fear of government overreach, and they believe that their guns are going to provide them some sort of security against government tyranny. Now, I personally think that's misguided, because I've firsthand seen the ability of the United States government to wreak havoc and destruction, and I promise you, the U.S. government, look at Ruby Ridge, look at David Koresh and the Branch Davidian compounds. We violated Posse Comitatus.
Yeah.
We suited up a couple Delta operators and said that they were ATF agents, violated Posse Comitatus, and killed a whole bunch of American citizens. If the U.S. government wants to fuck you up, it's over. That's what I believe. But I understand why my right-wing friends are saying, oh, no, they're trying to do a gun grab. I also believe that a gun grab would be ineffective, but that doesn't mean my left-wing friends hate you and hate freedom and hate the Constitution. They just want people to stop dying all the time on fucking TV. I had, I don't know, Sadie or something, where there was some horrible conversation of some kid that was comforting the parent and saying, we're going to be ready, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, what the fuck?
Huh?
Is like, the kid was comforting the parent, like, we train on this, don't worry, I'll be okay. Like, the kid is, it's like when you're about to get deployed and you tell your parents, look, I've trained for this my entire life, I'm going to be fine. Well, I want soldiers telling their parents that. I don't want kids telling that to their parents about school. And neither do your right-wing friends, and neither do your left-wing friends. So maybe we can get rid of this tribalist bullshit and fucking come together and put our heads together and come up with a solution, please. Because the politicians they don't give a fuck, bro. Listen, these politicians, they've got 9 levels of security. They all got guns. They know that shit ain't gonna happen to them and their kids. So these people love this conflict between left and right on the gun situation. But we're never, ever, ever going to get into a solution, because our media overlords love to get us hating each other so I can get distracted by you instead of the real situation so they can remain in power. But it's been fucking 20 plus years since this song was written, and the verse is, once again, more relevant now than when it was fucking written. Okay, this came out on Christmas in 2001, and now that we're reviewing this song, we're 3 or 4 days removed from 20 kids getting blown away, and then seven days removed from 10 people getting blown away in Buffalo, and all these people can do is the same fucking arguments all the time.
And this is
instead of actually coming up with a solution.
The shootings that were happening at that point in time were like high schools. This is even more ridiculous that it's elementary schools. Like, this is just... I don't know. I can't talk about it for too long or think about it for too long, because I could just...
Yeah, I
melt into a... Because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what solution we come up with now. Those babies are still dead. That's it. And those parents are never going to see those little guys grow up. That, to me, is so heartbreaking. I just can't, like, while we're twiddling our thumbs trying to figure out some solution, babies are dying. Children. I can't.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like, people are like, oh, those cops should have went in there. That's the job. That's not the fucking job. I'm sorry. Regular beat cops did not sign up to go into a fucking war zone. That's not the job. If that's the job, then we need to redo the Constitution, because you're not supposed to deploy the military against regular citizens. Police did not sign up to go into a fucking war zone with guys that have superior ammunition to them. I hope you realize, all the people that are judging the cops, this kid has superior weaponry to them. So, You know, my point is, I don't want to get bogged down calling the police cowards. I don't want to get bogged down creating a caricature of people on the right and creating a caricature of people on the left. Okay? I don't care. How do we solve the problem in a practical way that's going to work? And we cannot use other countries as a template because there is no country on the planet that worships guns like Americans. And if you're not an American, you don't understand it. So, anyway, really, really good song. Obviously a classic. I gotta tell you, as a parent, I always feel guilty every time I see one of these school shootings. Because I always say to myself, thank God we homeschool our kids. And that's so fucked up. But it's I'm just being raw with you guys. It's human nature to think about your own self-interest. So I don't necessarily have a dog in this particular fight. Okay, because my kids are homeschooled. But it's still wrong. All right. It's a good song. Really, really good song. I give it a 9.5.
9.8.
All right. All right. We're gonna be happy today. I'm gonna be happy today. We got the DJ Nick stream. We got some good metal. POD, good song. Way to start us strong. We got more songs coming for you guys. This is a mega stream. Keep it here. Vin out.
Story out.
Gone.